Hey everybody, having a little bit of coffee in my Good Man Initiative cup. Watch out for some giveaways I'm going to have coming up. 20,000 Facebook follower giveaway. I've also got a 10,000 subscriber YouTube giveaway. I will put the video explaining that all right here. So, as you can tell by the name of the video, I want to have a little bit of a talk about toxic masculinity. I think we've really we're living in a weird time right now where we're being told that just being masculine, just having masculine traits is toxic. That these are toxic traits. That masculinity is all about violence. That masculinity is all about pushing other people down, being just mean, cruel, and that this is what makes up masculinity. Now, I would like you to follow me on a thought train here. Toxic masculinity. Now, when they talk about this, people always get this vision of men yelling at wives, girlfriends, other women, putting them down, telling them that they can't do anything. This is not. This picture that's been painted for us in our heads is not masculinity. This is douchebaggery. I know it's a crazy thought, but masculinity does not make you mean or cruel. The whole idea behind being masculine is that you're a protector, that you take care of your loved ones, that you provide, that you are strong, that you're like the rock that other people can hold on to when they have problems. You're the one who is always strong. You're the one who's always there. Being masculine is really about being dependable, being strong, being a protector, being a good loved one, being a good man, and just being good. Masculinity is all goodness. Masculinity is all about building, about construction, about love. When you hear of toxic masculinity, these traits that they talk about, these traits that they push about masculinity being about putting women down, or about putting transgenders down, or about putting other people down, that is just a mean, cruel person. That's all that is. And the strange thing about this is you can have this kind of toxic person in any situation. I'm going to be the first to say it here. There's toxic feminists. There are women out there making femininity toxic, mostly by talking about how toxic masculinity is. So, we'll just put that out there. So you've got women out there saying, I've seen videos of feminists saying that men should be killed, that men should be put to death, that all births should be by artificial insemination and be only allowed to have female children, to just completely get rid of the male gender altogether. Could you imagine if a man said that about the female gender? Could you imagine the pushback there would be? However, because women are saying this about the male gender, it is almost okay. There's almost this system in place today where masculinity is something to be pushed down and something to be fought against, something that needs to be gotten rid of. So we've reached this really weird situation where we talk about inclusivity and about everybody getting along, except that doesn't include masculine men. Masculine men are not invited to this party, and this is sad. Because masculine men throughout history are the ones who have protected us, built our bridges, built our skyscrapers, built our most dangerous jobs. It's the masculine men who get out there and do them. Right? You're not going to get a feminine man to go and do those jobs. It's too scary. It's just honesty, right? Just think about it. Are you going to expect a man who has feminine traits to go out and build a skyscraper at 400 feet, or to go out and test drive the first kind of certain type of jet that's designed to go into space. It's not going to happen. The fear level is too high. You need a man who's masculine and is willing to take risks to do those things. Masculinity pulls us ahead, and right now society is trying to push it down. And it's a very sad situation where we're taking all these thoughts of inclusivity and not including the very group of people who has brought us forward to this point. Now, some of this is political, some of it is societal, some of it is it's just because people who have been in positions where they've been persecuted have now decided that now that they're in a position where they have some power, that they can persecute back, and we're allowing that because we feel sorry for them for the persecution that they went through before. It is an understandable psychological place for this to go. However, it is the wrong way to go. We need to understand that there have been times where things were not good in society and things were not understood and people were treated badly. We need to also then understand that we are not those people. Us who are alive today, who are in control of the world, we're not the ones who did that. We're only responsible for how we treat each other. So we need to treat each other as equals and not care how things were in the past. When you start pushing now and you start trying to make people of this time pay for the sins of the past, you're trying to force people who didn't do anything to pay for things they haven't done. And you're going to get some pushback. And it's a bad way to try to run things. We need to understand that we are all equals now. If you want to stop racism, bigotry, all of that, we need to understand that we're all equals right now. And not let the past come into it. But understand that the past is there so we don't do it again. We don't try to get rid of masculinity. Masculinity is important. We need it. Men need to be masculine. If you look at the suicide rates among men right now, the largest group of people in the world committing suicide right now are young men. The largest group of people that are incarcerated in the world right now, young men. The depression rates amongst young men are just skyrocketing like crazy. We're in a situation where we are literally telling young men that they can't be what they are, that what they are, what they feel inside themselves is wrong, it's toxic, and they're bad for it. Could you imagine being told that about something that's just inside of you, something that's natural? Men are naturally masculine. We have to allow that to be. You have to. Otherwise, it's the same thing trying to take men and make them not be masculine as it is to take somebody who's gay and put them through conversion therapy. It's just as wrong. It's wrong to try to force somebody who's gay to not be gay. It's wrong to try to force somebody who's masculine not to be masculine. It is on the same page. It is both what they are made of inside of them. And when you try to force them to go a different direction, you are causing massive pain and torture to that person. The suicide rates, incarceration rates, and depression rates amongst young men are showing this to be true. We need to stop talking about toxic any kind of person and just start understanding that some people are toxic. If those people happen to be masculine, that doesn't make it toxic masculinity. It's still just a toxic person. If that person is a feminist, that doesn't make them a toxic feminist. That just makes them a toxic person. Start looking at it for what it really is. You got some idiots out there that are making the rest of the people around them look bad. That doesn't make the rest of the people around them mad. No matter how much you want to say that they are, just by the association of their male gender. You can't make those assumptions about a person that just because they're a male and they're masculine that they're going to be toxic. Most masculine men are the best masculine men are the best men that I've ever met. They're the best for society. They're the best that we can hope for out of a man. Now, that doesn't mean that being a feminine man is bad. That just means that they're different. And that's real inclusivity, allowing that difference. So I pose the question, is there such a thing as toxic masculinity? Is there toxic masculinity? What is toxic masculinity? It's a made-up term. 100%, that is what it is. That is the answer. It's a made-up term. For somebody who wanted to turn the pain that they feel around on the people that they feel were making them cause the pain, without understanding the actual source of where that pain was coming from. There is no toxic masculinity. There's toxic people and there's masculinity. There's no toxic femininity. There's toxic people. There's feminists. That's it. Toxicity is toxicity. There's evil people everywhere pretending to be everything, being everything. You can't force that onto the rest of an entire gender. That because some men are toxic and they do it in an asshole way, in a douchebag way, you can't paint the rest of the gender that way. Okay, so stop. Be really inclusive. Allow us to be masculine. Allow men to be men again. The actual positive effects for society for having masculine men are massive. We're talking about better economy. We're talking about a happier society. We're talking about more things getting done. If you compare us to the rest of the world right now, we are falling behind in so many vectors, and that is because we are pushing the idea that it's okay to be less than what we are. Allow men to be masculine. That will go away. Let's start building our society up. Let's stop tearing it down. We're being so bad to each other and to ourselves right now and to our children. The world we're going to leave our children with if we keep going in this vein is horrible. Let's do it for them. Let's do it for those that come after us. Let's do it for us right now. Let's stop all just being ornery, depressed, horrible people. I tried really hard to say all that without swearing. You might have noticed. Let's just all stop being that way. Let's all start being nicer to each other, being better to each other, and building something instead of trying to tear each other down. Let's stop trying to tear each other down for things that our grandfathers did. Okay? Let's be done with that. Let's have real inclusivity. Let's have real non-racism by just allowing each other to be and not trying to go after each other for the sins of our fathers. All right? Let's be better. Let's be better men. Let's be better people. Let's be a better society. Let's just do it. Let's build it. Come on, that's a challenge. Bring it up with me. Let's just build everything better. Let's just build our society better so that we're better to each other, so that we're all what we're meant to be, so that we can all be the heroes of our own story. All right? I love you guys.